soccer fans, we hope you've got your cups filled with some tea because our cup of tea is back and we're ready to speak all things women's soccer. My name's Megan Warner and I'm joined by my co-hosts, Katie Goodman and Harlie Ford. How are you both today?
Doing good, doing good. Got my usual matcha tea here ready to get the day started. What are you guys doing? How's it going?
I'm proud to announce that I actually have tea with me today, and I am determined to start every show with a different mug. Today is my cheetah mug.
That's cute.
Painted ceramic that I believe was thrifted from Goodwill. So
Thrifting is the best.
yeah,
man.
it's also an English
all the good
breakfast
finds.
mix. A little bit of cream in it, you know? It's how we do up in our cup of tea.
Heck yeah. How about you, Megan?
I'm on the mint tea this morning. Definitely seems to be gravitating towards the mint tea that we got sent. Like, that is significantly lower than my other stocks of tea. But yeah, I'm doing really well. I just got over COVID, so I'm feeling much better today. I'm feeling much more energized, and I feel like every day I'm just, feeling a lot better compared to last week where I was like, I'm not getting out of bed.
Yes. I'm sure the mint tea helps as well. Throw some honey in the mix and, it works wonders.
Yeah,
So
it does sound delicious.
It's really been a while since we last filmed our cup of tea. Our last was a Christmas gift guide, and we're now nearing the end of January. Well, we're into February. It is actually FeBREWary. Welcome, everybody.
Yeah.
I feel like we just make use of every single tea pun in the book, which I'm loving. Stay tuned.
I'm here for it.
But yeah, our last video was our Christmas gift guide, and I want to ask you guys, did you gift anybody something from that guide? Did you receive anything? And of course, how was your Christmases?
Yeah, I actually don't think I got anything soccer specific this Christmas. I mean, it was just like a really nice Christmas. I got to spend it with my family. I didn't have to dog sit, so I got to stay home, which was really lovely. That's always a gift. And honestly, like, it was really nice having a break where I could just, relax before I dove full time back into the soccer season, which is, as you can see, I'm wearing my coaching shirt. I have to get right to it. So, getting back into the season's been really rewarding, and I'm happy. That's a great gift. Being able to see those young ladies again is awesome.
Yeah. For me, I'm super single, so if I want something, I just buy it for myself. I'm like, oh, it's Christmas.
Katie.
Looks like I get to buy myself whatever the hell I want. So it's great because it's always the gifts I want, But no, so I actually did
very well.
Right. Treat yourself, right? No, but I actually did end up getting myself some soccer gear. So I got some agility equipment, ladders, hurdles. I got one of those bounce boards where you kick the ball up against the board and it comes back to you. It's so good for just knowing your own pressure behind the pass that you're giving to other people. Sometimes you can't tell how much pressure you're putting behind it until you feel your own pressure come back. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things that are just really good to do. You can do it on your own. I know personally that I need to be working on my quick feet and things like that, agility, fitness. That's really the only way I'm going to get back in time for the Athenian. So that's what I ended up getting for myself soccer wise. And I also got some soccer pants and some Adidas stuff and, got to treat yourself, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I did treat myself also. I will grab them because they're right here, although I'm not convinced on them. So I bought myself some new cleats because I needed them.
Ooh.
They are.
They're pretty. They're like green. And, I've been looking for some new cleats as well. Oh, man. What?
Okay.
Are they Nike?
Yeah, Nike cleats. I have always been Team Magista, and Nike discontinued them like a ways back. I'm talking, I wore Magistas for probably like a solid 6 years or something. Like, they were my cleat. Like, I didn't need to worry about what I was going to wear when my next one was breaking. I just ordered up a new pair and it was good. And then they discontinued them, and I was like, hey, what cleat is my new one? I'm testing different ones out, and I like the Phantom ones that had no laces. Like, they covered them. I was like, these are good. I'm about this. Like, this can be my new thing instead of Magistas. And then this is now the Phantom, and this is supposedly ghost laces, despite the fact that you can clearly see
You know, for a ghost.
I don't think those are ghost
pretty
laces.
visible.
Yeah.
and I'm not convinced, and I tell you for why. Because I went to the field and I'm doing like I think it was my second session in these, because my first session I got a blister and I was like, ooh. So plastered up or band-aided up, as you guys say in America, put my nice like white socks on, the crew ones everybody wears, and I'm doing like field sprints, and I can feel my blister like is not comfortable. So I'm like, okay, I'm mid-session, I'm not stopping, because that means I have to come back tomorrow and restart, which isn't happening. Like, I'm seeing this one through. And so after I finish and I take my cleat off, and my white sock is no longer white. So
Ooh.
yeah, that I don't like blisters. I don't like having to go through this pain, and I'm not convinced on the cleat, but I'll keep trying.
Man,
The label is off, so it's too late to switch.
oh man, finding new cleats is so tough. I've used Copas my whole life, literally, like from probably since high school at least. You know, just the regular old kangaroo leather Copas, but like. I lately have been interested in getting just like a prettier cleat. They used to make these bright blue, like it was like the old school Adidas blue, but with the metallic sheen on the Copas. And so I love those, and I was looking for them, but they don't make them anywhere. You can't buy them special order, nothing. So I've been considering getting new cleats also because of the laces thing. I noticed like when I do shoot the ball, like the laces are interfering a little bit, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just
when you're trying to lace it, you don't want to feel those laces.
And there you go. Yes. Yeah. So
it's such a hard thing to change boot, and I had such an ordeal. Like my dad ended up having to take me to the Nike store in London because of this whole ordeal. I'm like speaking to somebody on the phone from Ireland, and then I'm speaking to people on the phone like in America, and it was so complicated. And so yeah, I've got this pair, and I'm gonna make it work. So that was my treat to myself. And then also for Christmas, my parents got me tickets to see Watford, my team, play, which was so awesome. Got to see 2 games. And I also got gym clothes, which we mentioned on there, on our gift
Leisure.
Everybody who knows me, if you're giving me Gymshark, I'm gonna be happy, and I did get them. So yeah,
I think my little sister got some Gymshark leggings, and I was like,
I need to try that. I still haven't tried out the whole Gymshark thing, but I've heard so much about it, and that it's a really good product.
Cute. They're cute.
Yeah, I've seen them. Just haven't made the purchase yet. So maybe they need to sponsor us. Maybe we should reach out.
I'm about it.
Right?
I don't think
Nike's
Phantom shoes are gonna go on as a sponsor though.
Yeah. Right. Sorry, but we don't want to be associated with your blisters and hatred for our feet.
Nasty socks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, but you know, and cleats are so important to even leading up to the season. You know, like if your feet are hurting, you're not going to be able to get all your fitness in and do all the things that you need to do. And so it really is important. And you know, season is right around the corner. So I know that I personally am, well, I actually have a concussion. I should probably update everybody. I have a concussion still. I hit my head on concrete 3 weeks ago, and I had a black eye for a very long time. It went away. I got a CT scan. It was gnarly.
Yeah.
Whenever I did show a few people, like I would hop onto your Instagram, I saw you put it on your highlights, so I was like, this is perfect. And I'd be like, look at my friend.
Yeah, look at what her face did to her. Yeah, no, it was what's sad is I have nobody to blame but myself. I just literally tripped over the ball. I had a new pair of indoor shoes, caught the ball, and just whap hit. Like I usually break my fall, which is really strange, but nope, not this time. Just allowed the head to hit concrete. So anyways, got a CT scan, no fractures, no brain bleeds, just still have a lot of symptoms going on. So I was actually trying to run on the treadmill the other day, and I had to come off because I was getting a lot of pressure on this side, which I'm sure isn't great. So I stepped off. But if I didn't have all of this going on, and as soon as I get back, I can assure you I'm going to be running sprints, doing a lot of agility, of course, weightlifting for the core and low back, because you guys know I'm also very injury prone in the low back area. So, did we lose Harlie?
We lost Harlie. Her Wi-Fi is
Oh man.
as soon as she
Oh,
gets back on, we'll get her back up in here.
yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, so anyway, I know these are some of the things that I'm doing to try to get back in shape for the Athenian season. It's going to be a tough one. We have a bunch of new recruits coming in. Competition's going to be at an all-time high. So I'm doing what I can, which is fitness, getting touches in and all of that. But I'm curious to know what you guys are doing to prepare for the season.
Yeah, so for me, it's kind of difficult because I'm out in Kansas right now and I don't really have, my friendship group, my teammates around me to kind of push each other and like train together. Which, if you do have people around, I know like I see the Athenians a lot doing stuff, meeting up, getting small-sided games going, whatever it might be. Like, it is crucial if you can. Like, that is so beneficial. Like, it's so helpful to wake up in the morning and know I have this scheduled at this time and my 6 friends are relying on me. I need to show up, as opposed to like
Exactly.
me, who could maybe roll out of bed and be like, not gonna do it. But
I
if
feel
I do
that so
that,
much.
then season rolls around and I'm not going to be in the best shape. I'm not going to be in the best position to do my best and what the team needs from me. So really, really
Right.
important is just holding myself accountable, getting in those different types of sessions. So like you said, full work, fitness, like field sprints, running, and then also in the gym, building that muscle. Those are kind of my 3
Nice.
focuses. My indoor season is starting soon, which I'm really, really excited
Okay.
for. That is a great way to get fitness on the ball, if you can play
Oh,
some.
yeah.
I think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like
Indoor I'm sorry? Go ahead.
it's so much fun. Like, you don't realize how much work you're putting in because you're just enjoying it, and then suddenly like your fitness levels just up and up and up.
I was gonna say, and suddenly you're gasping for air because you didn't realize that there are no breaks, that you're just running consistently in that small space. That's how I feel about indoor. And then, I've been playing a little bit of indoor here and there, and I went to this new soccer center the other day, and they'd put way too many um little rubber things for the turf, and
Uh-huh.
it felt like we were playing on sand, and I've never been so sore in my entire life. Felt like I was, like, just dragging my legs, but yeah, no, indoor is definitely the move. So, Megan, I'm curious to know, like, you're in Kansas right now, but are you gonna go back to Florida when season comes around to play?
Yeah, that's my plan.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but
Okay.
I think I will get there a bit earlier than what I did last year, which will be great because I did miss a couple. They weren't league games, but it was like that preseason friendlies, which are really important. As soon as you can join up with your team, you want to be able to get there, like get that connection flowing with your teammates and stuff. So yeah,
Right.
that's my plan. I'll be back in Florida with Unity, hopefully.
Yay, yay. I know it's so hard to because I'm sure there's stuff happening in Kansas in your area, but it's different when it's your team, and that's how I also feel about the Athenians. I'm like, there's a lot of places you can go around here and like Austin and all that, but like there's just nobody like your team.
Yeah, that is so true. It's always really hard, I think, especially as females, like rocking up to um, kind of pick up events that are going on because you might be that only girl and you don't get past the ball until you finally do something good with it. So like as soon as you get the ball, you're
Right.
like, okay, like I need to beat a player, I need to score, I need to do something good to show these people like I can play, actually involve me,
Right.
which so when you kind of are going with, even if it's a group of friends turning up to pick up, so there's a few of you, it definitely does help just to kind of remove that boundary that people have, which I don't know, we only experience it as females and maybe other guys who are new, like if you're a male and you show up by yourself, you actually might experience the same thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can only speak from my perspective that I've seen.
Right. Same. Yeah, same. No, I know that feeling when you show up and it's a new crew and you're like, okay, I got to show out now and make sure that they know that I deserve to be here and that I'm going to be able to support them as a team player. So yeah, but I was actually talking to someone the other day on one of my women's league teams because I've been playing just Sunday soccer with the women's league, and they had mentioned one of the girls had mentioned like, oh, this one girl, she's really good, but she's not really doing a lot with it. And it's like, well, sometimes it's not always about the scoring, or it's sometimes what you see, what they're doing is something that you don't really ever notice because they're sending through balls, or maybe they send it to somebody who they know can give a good assist. It's one of those things. Yeah. So it's tough. It's tough, but that's why I love just going back to your old team, and you can't, bypass the jokes and the things that you gain from the season prior and whatnot, too. So that to me is what I miss, is all the fun and stuff. Harley's back. She made it.
Hello, can you hear me?
Woo!
We can
We
hear you.
can.
Okay,
Yeah.
beautiful. I don't know what happened beyond Wi-Fi, because then my headphones made a horrific sound that sounded like it was from another dimension. So
Oh,
I
some
just couldn't
Stranger
get in.
Things
It was really
moves.
peculiar. So I'm glad I'm back.
We were just talking about fitness and some of the things you're doing to plan for the Athenians, or excuse me, the UWS season coming
Yeah,
up.
girl, I'll come play with you. I don't care.
Come on, come through.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know exactly what you guys talk about because, I was in another spectral dimension. But, I think part of like coming into this season is the excitement of like what's new. So there are so many new teams and there's new developing leagues, and, we're trying to get to the next level with all of the organizations. So the training regimen and like what we need to do fitness wise needs to be that much higher and heightened because of the competition that's going to be involved. It's not, you know, these are going to be teams filled with competitors who have been playing D1 and like have spring seasons under their belts, and they are at the top of their game. So, especially for those of us who are not currently in college, we need to figure out how to supplement our fitness and create training regimens, which Megan and I and my little sister, we're going to start working on so that, we can give our team the best tools to, be successful in the upcoming season.
That's
I
great that
think
you're all doing it together too. That makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you bring up that like spring season for those college athletes, because if you are in college right now, like this is actually going to be the first college season in like 2 years, because last year, because of COVID, a lot of teams ended up playing competitively, like playing their season in the spring. And then the season before that was when COVID hit and spring seasons got cut. Like everybody got sent home, sporting events stopped, all that ordeal. So right now, like a lot of these athletes might be going into their first real spring season, and it is so crucial that you use this time to get those gains to improve your fitness, improve your like power, your strength, because you don't really get this opportunity where you're not playing, and it's so different. And US college is so different to like if anybody else is watching from like European soccer, it's so different. You have this like really competitive schedule from like August through December, where most of your games are going to come in September and October. And then when it hits to spring, you might play maybe 3 or 4 games, and you're really in the gym, working on different aspects of fitness and still playing. But the idea is to develop yourself rather than playing competitively. And I think that it really emphasizes the importance of playing in those summer leagues, because for the first 5 months of the year, you're not actually playing competitively.
Correct.
Right. That's so true. And there's just something that you can't quite take from practice that you can take from a game. It's totally different when you get that game exposure, that competitive edge. You're pushing yourself a little harder than you would in practice. So yeah, that all makes total sense.
Yeah, really the best fitness is playing, being on the field, being active in the game. Like it's just, you can do a lot of training on your own, but being there in the moment where there's like such heightened energy and you really have to think about so much more than just, your technical ability. There's such a mental side to it as well. I think, just besides physical fitness, your mental fitness is also important. So it's really great that these college kids are going to get the opportunity to, have a season that they can roll into their summer with. And then for anyone else who's currently not in college, we just got to do a little bit more work to get to that point.
Yeah, definitely. It's easy for us people who aren't in college to kind of feel like, oh, like, we're not going to be at that same level, but you definitely can. If you guys need any help with like what kind of things you can do to help prepare for your UWS season, reach out to us. We can do a whole show on it if you guys need.
Yeah, because we've been immersed in that UWS greatness.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I think this will be Megan and I's 3rd year.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's really, really cool. We're coming up on some milestones.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, just speaking of which, with soccer and like what we've got going on, there's, been some break in WOSO, since last year. There wasn't a whole lot happening. People are on break getting, time to let their muscles heal and get back in the right headspace so that you can continue to train. So, where do you get the news? And right now we are that place for news. We're trying to get all that hot WOSO stuff to you, pouring out that hot tea. So I'm happy to be here and talk about some of the things that are actually starting to gear up this time of year. And one of the most current pieces of news is that the 2022 AFC Women's Asian Cup has started, and this is the 20th edition of the quadrennial competition. So it's held every 4 years, but when it first started out in 1975, it actually was held every 2 years, and initially the matches were only 60 minutes long, which is really interesting. But but nowadays there's a full 90 minutes plus stoppage time, and the competition includes 12 national teams, including Japan, Australia, China, South Korea, the Philippines. And this is actually a competition that's used as a qualifier for the World Cup. So for teams that otherwise wouldn't really get a shot at that stage, the Women's Asian Cup is a really great platform for them to not only get great competition against other countries, but also give them the tools to get to the World Cup. So the final for this amazing competition is going to be held this Sunday. Well, this coming Sunday on February 6th. But many international tournaments are held super, super early, and pretty much all of the games from here on out are held between the times of 3 a.m. and 9 a.m. So, so make sure that if you're getting up at that time, especially with how cold it's getting, you have a hot cup of tea with you. So,
yeah, that's a little early, a little bit outside my awake range.
Yeah, the final will be at 6 a.m. So
it's such a struggle. I do remember, like in the Olympics, it's like, okay, set a few alarms because you don't want to miss these games. Like they're so good, and this competition, there's been a lot of action and a lot of goals. So if you can wake up for that, I would highly recommend it. And yeah, it's a really great competition because these teams, they need that exposure. And unfortunately, the host country, India, were forced to withdraw from the competition because of COVID, which is so gutting for the individual.
12 of their players tested positive. So they were not able to fulfill the 13 minimum roster to like participate in games. That's insane.
Oh my
gosh. It's
sad,
especially like a country like them, they are kind of coming up with women's sports and encouraging females to participate in sport and showing the different opportunities that they can have. I guess a positive is that they are the host country, so at least people in India are being exposed to those sports and are seeing what high-level women's soccer is right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, really unfortunate for them that they had to withdraw. There is lots of good news coming out of this competition, though, and we did see Sam Kerr become Australia's all-time leading goal scorer. So she scored in, I think it was January 21st. I can't remember who they were playing. Her goal from there, they actually won by a lot of goals, so she probably had a few goals in that game. But that took her to be the all-time all-time leading goal scorer in her country. I mean, what an absolute honor. And Samka actually has some like roots back in India too. So she said like it was such an amazing feeling to be able to become Australia's highest goal scorer in a country that actually has meaning to her and her family as well.
Yeah, no, that's super,
Wow.
that's really, really cool. And it was actually a match against Indonesia, which, you know, that the result of that match, like, not only did Sam Kerr blow it up out there, like, the whole Australian team did. The final score was 18-0, which calls to mind that infamous 13-0 match the US had against Thailand back in 2015 at the Women's World Cup, which is just like, oh boy, you know, once you're on that horse.
Those matches always give me like,
Yeah.
that's why I blocked the scoreline from my mind, because those matches always give me a bit of a bad taste, because I really don't like when we see in these competitions like a huge scoreline like that. But at the same time, you know, you're not going to not score as Australia, and there is a significant difference between countries, the standard that we see. And we see it in the men's game too. It's not just women's soccer. I've been at men's games where England has won like 7-0 against some countries that just don't have soccer in them that much, and so the level is going to be different.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I agree. And we've talked about this before, where, you know, incidents like that is like, you know, at some point you have to figure out, am I out here for purely an athletic endeavor, or am I also trying to like inspire future generations? And sometimes, you know, an 18-0 match might dampen some spirits on that one.
That it will, but also, you know, there's the whole famous theory of like people don't want you to take it easy on them. Like
That's
it's
true.
almost
They did
worse to
not.
just stop scoring, you
They
know.
did not. Yeah.
So it's tough. It's tough.
So I would not be surprised to see Australia at the final in this cup. And also, I think it's either going to be China or Japan who goes all the way. Because right now, last night at 3 a.m., Japan beat Thailand, I think 7-0, and Australia only beat them. It was a 2-1 game for Australia. So it'd be interesting to see like an Australian-Japan matchup at the end. So I'm putting my bets in. Australia, Japan. We'll see it. February 6th, 6 a.m.
Oh man. It's going to be good. And then, you know, we also have coming up right around the corner the She Believes Cup. It's happening right at the end of this month, and it's being held February 17th to the 23rd. And this year, the teams involved are going to be Czech Republic, New Zealand, Iceland, and of course, the United States. And believe it or not, one of those games is going down in Dallas. So I'm going to do my best to get out there and be involved in some way. So stay tuned for that entire situation. No guarantees yet. But just as a little bit of background, the U.S. are the reigning champs and have won in 2016, 2018, and then back-to-back in 2020 and 2021. So they're doing pretty good there. But again, it just gives everybody a chance, just like in the Asian Cup, it gives everybody a chance to play at a higher level, play with really good teams, to travel the United States, to get to see, you know, parts of the world that they may not have otherwise. So I think it's great all the way around.
Yeah, and it's also a really great reason to have a tournament. So the whole tournament is built around this movement of empowering young women to follow their dreams, whatever that may be, whether like you want to be a professional athlete or getting Nobel Peace Prizes. It's like, you know, anything's possible for women. So I think it's a really great motivation to have for anything. So the She Believes Cup is really about believing in young women. So having women out there on the field showing their athletic prowess, but also recognizing what they're doing outside of the field, seeing what they're able to do for their communities. I think it's a really great platform, and I'm super excited to be able to watch the tournament.
Yeah, it's a really good tournament. If you're able to get tickets to go, most of your tickets will actually give you access to 2 games. So it's really, really awesome. Like when you sit down to watch it, even at home, like you know you're going to get 2 games, and they are high quality games. Like these teams are ready to compete. And She Believes Cup is always really, really competitive, like 1-goal games type thing, because the teams are just so evenly matched. I remember I got to go see US versus England one year, and like there's me with all my American friends, and like it was, you really didn't know who was going to win, like because every team is just so competitive. So definitely,
Was that the year that England won it all?
that was.
Ooh.
Ah.
All right, Megan. All right.
American
Show up.
I wasn't sure whether to bring up the fact that we did win.
It's fine. I'm
Hey,
not
hey,
petty at all.
you can rep. You can rep. You have every right to rep your
It's fine.
country. That's all good. I'd be doing the same for the US, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is the latest and greatest in woe. So there is content out there, and we will be here to help you access it all. So we really hope you enjoyed today's show. Thank you for your patience while we took a break, and we do truly appreciate all your support. It does mean the world to us. Special shout out to Jonathan Ward, UWS and UWS2 for helping us bring this show to your screens. And if you haven't already, follow your hosts individually, follow our Archive of Tea Twitter page, and subscribe to our YouTube. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. It's lovely being back.
Yep.